Happy New Year's, everybody. It's Yo Mikester238 for those of you brand new. Welcome to the channel. So glad you guys are here. If you guys do like, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But anyways, I've come to a realization. I replicate a ton of stuff. I've recreated Super Mario Sunshine Delfino Plaza, and I've recreated the Minecraft Championship server, World of Goo. I've done that level again. Owen Wilson's face, Mario stuff, Terraria stuff. I've created all the stuff. This thought's been on my mind lately, but I never knew what to do with it until I saw this. An amazing, hilarious YouTube channel that compared like these insane animated Mojang trailers to what it's actually like in reality, which is, I don't know, pretty funny in my opinion. And this thought combined with my like replica, my replicating abilities thought gave me the toughest challenge yet. That was to recreate the launcher image that all you wonderful Java users know so well. Not was the problem, is the problem, because you know, that's what today's video is, that's what we're doing. But I do know that this is gonna be the most challenging replication video yet, and you want to know why? Look at the photo again and look at it very, very closely and tell me if you can see what the problem is. Do you see it? Do you see what the problem is? This whole thing is the problem. The fact that we only have one picture to work from and not multiple three-dimensional planes is going to make this a really, really tough challenge, but I digress. I've explained what we're doing. Let's jump into a new world and let's just try to get this going. Create new world. I've already created 1,000,000. That looks like a pretty good title, and yeah, I'd say this world is it's just about as good as it gets. So let's go ahead now and let's start the construction of this. We're gonna start off with the first block, which was in the picture, which is this block of amethyst. I'd say already we've got a 100% reproduction right there. That's spot on. But one thing I've already thought about and considered when think about how to construct this, is that we're going to need to get this angle exactly right. So using commands, I don't know if you guys know this, but using commands. For example, I'm just going to do 60 degrees and 30 degrees. We can warp and change the view of the player. Right there, I force myself to turn down and to the left. So what we need to do is we need to get the view of this amethyst block, which is sort of like this in the picture. We need to get this spot on. I mean like spot on. Literally, we're going to fade in the screen. Once I think I've found that angle, and we're going to do like a fade in so you can see that I've got the exact angle. And the reason behind this is that we'll be able to replicate this command over and over and over again so that each time we can go back and get a reference for what we're building. And wow, that was incredibly annoying. It's still not 100% perfect, but if we go, I'm gonna go ahead and do the command right there. That's a special command. I'll go ahead and fade to the other image, and you can see it's a little off, but it's good enough. I'm too lazy to make it better. So now that we got this beautiful, beautiful command, each time we need to, we can do a perspective check, where basically we go into this view, we see how the whole thing is kind of looking, because again, we're not gonna be able to get all the exact block placements. Like for example, but I mean, some of them we will be able to, like the amethyst shards, we know exactly that amethyst shard goes here and here, and we know that a moss block, I believe it's 1 block away. I gotta look at the image again, but I think we can place it right there, and we can do another perspective check if we want and just see what that looks like. But we're gonna have to base it off perspective. We can't get it all block for block for block. So now with that all kind of in mind on what we're doing and everything, I'm gonna be using just this one singular image. And the way we're gonna be placing blocks in is we're going to be using the planes of the blocks, the planes and the angles at which the block sits. So the reason I could tell that there was a moss block, if we scroll right over here, the reason I knew there was a moss block 1 block away is because right here is the amethyst block that we just placed, and then there's a little bit of a gap, and then there's 1 block away. So just using deductive reasoning and logic, you can assume that that gap right there is 1 block. Although one thing I did notice is that, looking right here, this looks like a half amethyst block, which I can't actually do. So I don't even know if this video is going to be possible, but I mean, using this logic, again, we can deduct, right? There's a block right there, and then I'm guessing that there's probably another gap because it's a bit of a distance between this singular moss block and then this one, but then it goes 2 blocks up, 2 blocks over here. So I'm going to try to create maybe this little grass mound because it looks pretty easy. Once we get these blocks in, right, we go 2 blocks up from here, 1 block up, 1 block up diagonally, and then another 3 up to where Alex is standing up there at the top. So once we get those in, I think it should look pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and try to work on that and just try to get this little grass mound in. We're eventually going to actually place in mobs as well, so like the axolotl and Alex in the proper spots and everything. But yeah, let me work on that real quick. And something I've already noticed as we build this is that the colors are already so off. And on top of that, I'm wondering, right, because I'm doing this view, I don't know if this is going to be big enough, because right about here, the top of the entire hill, I think the view in the actual photo is kind of warped because this hill goes to the center of the image, whereas right now, if we go into our screenshot mode, we're already at the center. We're not even at the top of the hill just yet. But it is kind of unique as I build it. Like right now, I know that I need to get an azalea, a flowering azalea, and I need to actually put it right here. In the actual photo itself, you can't really tell what's behind the azalea. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in some moss blocks and assume that's right. Maybe a couple more moss blocks right over here, some blocks right there, and let's go back into our one position, see what that looks like. And I'd say that looks pretty good. We're missing a double high grass block that goes right behind the azalea bush. Let's go ahead back into. So this is what's going to be, just comparing back and forth over and over and over again, and being like, okay, that looks pretty good. That looks right. I think that looks good, and just building so you guys can see what I'm doing. It's kind of exciting actually. It's kind of fun to do. It's like a puzzle, right? Now that we got that one block there, we're gonna go up like 1, 2, 3 blocks right there. Go back to our one plane, and that actually goes a little bit higher than the actual photo that I'm working based off of, but it doesn't look bad. It looks like right here too, there's actually a bit of a competing hill. But yeah, I mean, you guys get the gist of what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go ahead and build up this whole hill. Okay, but I think we're already getting somewhere. Let me go back into this view right here. It looks pretty darn accurate. I'll fade in the picture just so you guys get a reference of what I'm doing. But I finally did find the perfect kind of example of what I mean by referencing. Okay, so I thought when I was building this, right, I thought this dripstone that was in the picture would go right about here when I was placing it down. So I placed it there, and then I went into my view, and I noticed, what the heck, you can hardly see it right there, and in the picture, it's a little bit more over. So then I decided, okay, I'm gonna move it over a couple blocks because I was obviously wrong, and all of a sudden, I thought it looks pretty good, I'm pretty sure. But even then, I was like, wait, no, because I just looked at the picture just now. I still don't think that's right. So there's gonna be a lot of finagling, and I think that's probably what's gonna make this the toughest part of this whole thing, is I moved it over a block, and it still looks a tiny bit big, so I'm actually going to move it over one more block, and we'll see how that looks. So there's going to be a lot of this, a lot of finagling as we try to get this image to match up perfectly, and it's a fun little project, but I'm going to make some more progress on it and show you guys some of the fun parts. The little sneaky parts is like right up there where that grass block is. It's almost not even visible, but it is there in the thing, in the actual image. So it's kind of tough putting it together, but just as long as I keep going back to this one view and building, I think I'll be fine. And with the height, this is a little bit taller. We're gonna work with that and just see what happens. So I'll come back when I have a bit more progress. Then right about here, I sort of realized something that I should have noticed when looking in the image. Let me pull it up right now, and you guys take a look at it, okay? Look at the way the POV is. It's very stretched. It's almost like a panorama-like. I don't know how to explain it, but it's warped. In the Minecraft screen, which, okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna transition to my view. You can see what a regular point of view looks like. I believe I have my FOV on regular. Let me see real quick. I always forget that's an option right there. Okay, so mine's a little stretched. It's at 76, okay? So even if I were to mess with this, I'd have to get the exact FOV, the exact angle. It's a little tough, and I think it's okay, but I'm not gonna have it 100% accurate. But instead, I will try to make it as good as I can. What we've been doing, though, it's been fun doing this so far, is putting in the drip zones. I noticed at some points with the shadow and the lighting and the actual render, there are some spots that are so dark that it becomes like this sort of black. And so I've used brown terracotta, which isn't, it's not one of the blocks. Whew, words sometimes are hard. I need to slow down when I talk and just breathe. So what I did is I used this, brown black terracotta to add in some shading, some shadow, and I think that looks pretty good compared to the other image. It's coming together well, but already I'm guesstimating on so many block placements, and I'm just trying to make it look right. I'm like, okay, does that dripstone actually sit right there? Does it actually work? Does this dripstone, and does it go too high? A lot of guesstimating. So I'm gonna try to get this whole right wall done, which is a lot of work. It's gonna be so much fun when we put mobs in this eventually too. But we'll see. We'll see how I can get it. I'm doing my best. That's what counts. So here we were with half the wall kind of finished. Let me go back into that view real quick. Creeper would be going right, or maybe a zombert right here, creeper right here. Trying to get that water flowing. My gosh, that was annoying. I'm gonna fade in the image, and you guys will be able to see that it's not 100% accurate at all. Like just the warping of the image and the zoom and the angle, I didn't have it all right. So I decided, and flash forward back to this screen, we can't get it 100% accurate, but that's not the point. That's not the point of this video. It's just to see what it would be like in reality, right? So with that in mind, I decided, okay, not 100% accurate, but as accurate as I'll be able to get it. That's what I'm going for in this video today. I guess, I mean, it's just from here, it's just really just building, going back and forth. I've been doing a lot of going back and forth. I do have to mess with the water quite a bit because the water is a pain in the butt. That's why actually I have barriers in my inventory, is to control the water flow, because otherwise the water would flow onto this. It's not supposed to. I don't want you to go right there. So I had to fix that. I had to fix this. I don't want you to go underneath that little block. I don't even know how I did that. Not sure. But the thing was starting to come together at this point, and you can see we only have one more side of that we have to do. However, you can see right up here, in order to cover some parts with this vision, I had to build up so high, which was hilarious. That's actually why I added some of my own blocks too. These aren't really actually in the original image, but I'm doing my best. Looking at it from outside, it looks absolutely hideous. It looks horrible, but when you look at it like this, it's kind of pretty. I don't mind it, except the red barriers. Get out here, red barriers. Thank you. It was because I was holding them in my hand. But yeah, it's looking really solid, and adding in all the mobs and stuff will add in a bunch of life. So with that said, I'm gonna try to get this entire left wall done too, and then we'll work on creating the snowy middle, which will be like right up here around this area. So at this point, things were definitely starting to look up. I mean, still looking at it, I'm kind of amazed that I've been able to do this far. Oh my gosh. A lot of this building is such a unique building because it's not building where you want to fill every single block, because, you know, in typical Minecraft, right, you want every single block to be filled in so that the player doesn't see any holes or anything like that. But the way this has been built, the way I tried to get the depth between the details, like you see that tiny little crack between the stone, I've actually not been connecting them all. Sometimes I'm using spacing and gaps in between the stones. So like right here, you can see this is actually pretty high up. There's a really big gap there, but when we go right here, you can't tell at all. And that's a really unique way to get kind of the perception that I need. Like right here, this wall is a little bit lower, but if we teleport, right, I'm gonna get my mouse out. It's this wall right here. You can't tell. You can't tell that it's like elevated. It doesn't look like it's elevated. So really cool tricks like that are really helpful. When I was working with this water though, my gosh, I wanted to scream and cry and die all at the same time because the water just wanted to flow every single direction except the right ones. But eventually I got it. And it started looking good, and I'm pretty darn happy with the way it's turning out. Again, from the outside, we never look at the back. We will never speak about the back. I know it's kind of a dead joke, but we will never speak about the back. So at this point though, with this in hand, oh my gosh, guys, it's turned out really cool. I love this. Mojang did such a good job with their Java, I guess it's just like the installation. It's like the background image, whatever it's called. They did such a good job with theming it, making it look so epic. But the next part that we got to do is actually going to be right here, this middle part. I said we were going to do the ice part next, but first we got to get this because we got to complete the little hole of the cave. And I think at the same time, I'll also add some glow berries hanging down because that's something I haven't added yet, and they look very thin and cool hanging down. They'll add a lot more to this lush, beautiful drip stone, drip leaf, whatever cave. In fact, I actually forgot a drip leaf right over here. So I'm trying to get every single detail spot on. Some of them are not always properly perfect over here. I added a lot more stone that wasn't there, but we're doing our best and it's coming together well. Oh my gosh, without the mobs, it looks a lot like it. We're getting so close. I'm gonna do the fade in, fade out like I usually do, just so you guys can have a little bit of comparison. Again, it's not perfect by any means, but if you were to look at this, I'm pretty sure you could tell that it is what it is. It's the Java installer. I don't know what it's called. It's just the screen when you start the game, but it's that, and it looks great. Flying out, it looks horrible. It looks horrendous. It looks like a weird, I don't even know what it looks like, but the blocks are coming together. There's water streams that come from literally nowhere, but you can't tell that when you're down here. You have no idea. So we're getting really close. But what I wanted to update you guys about was the reason I haven't finished that back wall yet and completely closed it up and added the iceberg on top is because that's going to be the next part of the video. But I also realized something. I don't have the flowering. I think they're called the flowering azaleas. I looked through all the decoration blocks, and I'm in 1.17, and I had totally forgotten that they didn't have that one yet. The particles, the one that emits the particles, I couldn't find it. And I've been playing in 1.17 because I don't want to go to the future where I don't have my wand and world edit. That really helps me out. But I'm going to make up some backups, you know, just in case, and update this to a 1.18 world so we can get those pink flowers in because they are a part of the thing and we need them. And from there, we're gonna build this final wall, kind of build the last surrounding here. Let me just fly over to my area real quick. I accidentally gave myself a second one. But we're gonna build this final area right here, and then the icebergy part that kind of goes to the top, and then we'll add the mobs, and that's voila. It's magnificent. It's great. It looks just like it, and it was so hard to build. Look at all the blocks. It looks crazy. But yeah, time to update to 1.18 and hope for the best. I sounded so Canadian right there. Hope for the best. Oh boy, but here we go. I got the mountains in, I got everything in. This might be one of my most beautiful builds. And look at it. I actually just put a post on my YouTube channel and Twitter because I was like, this looks so ugly. Everyone's gonna be so confused, but it's hilarious. It's amazing. Ready? You guys ready? Look at this. Boom! What do you think of that? I am really proud of that. That looks really cool. I think I did a pretty good job with making everything look well. The mountains were the hardest part to get. I couldn't get the depth that they actually got in the picture the one Mojang made. But no, everything just fits so nicely. We got the flowers. The update went well, obviously. It went well. I would have been surprised if it hadn't. I mean, it's a super flower world. It's not the hardest thing to, transfer. But with that being said, there's still one more part. And this is going to be, oh man, I'm going to be using this website like crazy. Let me show it to you real quick. I don't typically show websites, but my gosh, Summon Mob Generator by Dig Minecraft is such a good website. If I remember, I'll link it down in the description, but basically, like, you can choose any mob you want. Say I just want a zombie. You can choose if you want him invulnerable, persistent. You can choose his age, baby, whatever. You can choose so many different things. Armor, positioning, rotation, so that you can get the mob looking exactly where you want to, and effects. And then after all of that, you just generate the command, and you get this amazing command. So what we can do is we can get these mobs that will be completely silent, no AI, so they can't move or anything. We get to make sure that they face the exact right direction. We can change their coordinates right around right here, positioning, and then we can do the rotation, which the Y and X rotation we can use to change which way they're looking. So with that being said, I'm gonna get all the mobs in the correct corresponding places, and it'll be video over. New year begun with this guy right here. Yeah, I'm proud of this one. I might just sit here and I might make this a screensaver. I'll make this a screensaver. I will. Minecraft versus real, like, actual Minecraft of Mojang. I don't know. I think mine might be tiny bit better, but that's just because of the particle effects too. I don't know. I didn't create this obviously, so Mojang did the best regardless of what happens. Okay, the last big grand reveal, because this time I've actually gone ahead and completely finished it. We just gotta show it to you. There it is. What do you guys think? We added in all the mobs, all the zombies, all the spiders. Oh my gosh, this was probably the worst part out of all of it. Just getting all the heads in the right positions and everything. The one thing I unfortunately regret is that Alex's pickaxe is in her right hand instead of the left. I couldn't get that fixed, but I'm gonna fade to the actual screen so you guys can have a comparison before and after. This is what it's like. This is the animated version by Mojang compared to what it's actually like in Minecraft, legitimately like this. And I think I did pretty good. It's not proportionate. The proportions are off, but the details are the same. And I think, again, if you looked at this, you would 100% know. So that's it. That's it. It's really cool. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm gonna have a world download for this if you guys want in the description with the command right here that teleports you to the exact coordinates that you need to be teleported to so you can look at it. But then you guys can look around if you want. Just check it out, add in details, do whatever you want, go crazy with the world. I think it was absolutely fun. It was like piecing together a puzzle. It's like it's an intricate, what's it called? Optical illusion puzzle kind of thing. And it worked. It was fun. It was loads and loads and loads of fun. But one last thing I wanted to show it too is actually I'm going to show it with shaders. And there we go with shaders. Oh my goodness, that looks pretty darn cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna screenshot that real quick and maybe make a desktop saver out of it. But yeah, that's it with shaders. I think this turned out great. If anyone from Mojang somehow possibly watches this, tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like it? I'm proud of it. It turned out cool. Fun to do. Fun video. Fun way to start off the new year, guys. I hope you have a great New Year's Day. Comment down below. Comment what New Year's resolutions. Do you guys have anything specific, or you guys do anything special for New Year's? I wonder. But with that said, that's it. I look forward to another year with you guys, making videos, doing streams, and having fun with Minecraft content. See you guys in the next video, whatever that may be. But until then, enjoy life, enjoy Minecraft, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.